has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
And we are back, hour number 3, Ferrall Coast to Coast, here on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us here today on a Monday. And it is a Monday, so it's great to have Smiley Kaufman with us. Of course, you can check out The Smiley Show right here on SportsGrid multiple times a week. New episodes, outstanding stuff. A little break for everybody right now. We had all the craziness, Masters, RBC, and then you get the Zurich this week. Everybody can kind of take a breath and get ready for the next big push that's coming with the PGA Championship, U.S. Open, etc. down the road. Smiley, it's great to see you, my man. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday to you too, Mike. It's a bit of a break this week, of course. The Zurich Classic used to be a stroke play event in New Orleans. Now, of course, if you kept up with it, it's you got the alternate shot format, and you also have a best ball format. You have a partner. So for a lot of the guys, it's a week in which they take it a little lighter. They don't take themselves quite as seriously. Have some fun. Of course, New Orleans is a great town and a place I always love to play.
We will get to this week's event in a little while because obviously we do have Rory and the Irish Bear, Shane Lowry, coming back. And really what everybody now points to is the moment that's like turned Rory around. I know on Netflix they did that, etc., with him winning last year at that event. But let's talk about this past weekend first, Smiley, because we had a great moment with Rory at the Masters a week ago. RBC Heritage, signature event, huge deal. And I'll be the first one. I know you and JT. I sat here last week. I can't bet on Justin anymore. He's cost me too much money. I just can't do it. It's like 3 years. I love rooting for JT. I love betting on JT. Guy, I tell Cam and Keith Stewart and all these guys that come on with me every week, I'm taking a break. And Smiley, sure enough, at the end I tagged, watch, he'll probably win this week. And there he was, Smiley. What a show by JT. Getting it done in a playoff over Andrew Novak, ending a long drought for JT over 3 years, back in the winner's circle, there now with his wife and his daughter. What a moment for Justin.
Yeah, I think it was 14 top 10s in between his win at the PGA Championship at Southern Hills. And after he won there, it just felt like he was going to keep on going, keep on tallying majors. But sometimes golf happens, Mike. It's a game in which he made look easy for the first 8 years of his career and found a little lull. And I think he's kind of been working his way out of it for quite some time. Definitely the golf has been improving. But the putter this year is, I think, but what's been really the key for him, he's not quite searching quite as much. I thought one of the cool things he said in his press conference after the round yesterday was somebody asked, like, what has been the improvement? He said he asked Xander Schauffele to come take a look at his putting last year. And I thought that was really interesting because not many players at the top of their game would go help another player, especially for a 2 to 3 hour request, which is what Xander eventually did for JT. And it wasn't anything technique that they found. It was much more of Xander just saying, dude, all the things you say you used to do, you don't do anymore. So why don't you go do that? And it seems like they kind of got back onto a baseline for JT this year. And it's pretty cool to see. I don't think Tiger would have necessarily done that back in the day.
I was just going to say to you, because you brought it up, and I did see him say that about Xander. Like, you were out there playing for a few years. Like, is that something that, like, obviously guys you're really tight with, you probably, like, go back, hey, you see me doing anything wrong? Hey, you noticing anything? How common is something like that for something like with Xander and JT to do that during the offseason?
Well, I think it just kind of goes, just kind of depends on how the friendship is for that particular person. I think I had a couple guys. I'd be like, dude, what's going on with my golf swing? What does it look like? And they'll be like, dude, you're way open here, or you're taking it back dead inside. And I'm like, thank you. I just needed an eye. Sometimes your coaches need a break for a second, and you just need to hear it from somebody else that has no interest besides just helping you along. And so I think with Xander, they've obviously been on plenty of teams together, whether it be President's Cup, Ryder Cups, probably stayed in a house or two time or share an airplane. And Xander's very smart too. He's a type of player that definitely leaves no stone unturned. Make sure he checks off every single box, and a very intelligent golfer. So he's the right type of guy to come take a peek. If he's a great putter too. If you go look at his statistics over the course of his career, actually not putting great this year, but he's coming back for that rib injury, so I think he hasn't really focused quite as much on it. But definitely interesting for sure.
That's also the third time in the last 4 years we've had a playoff at Harbor Town at the RBC. Is that like kind of what shows you that's something that makes a course one of the better venues on the tour, that you always have that kind of excitement? The course brings that kind of thing, because we love playoffs. Everybody wants free golf. Everybody wants to see stuff like that. And 3 out of 4 years, all great finishes. Jordan won the playoff. Fitzpatrick won the playoff. And now JT here. Does that kind of make the course one of the better ones on the tour?
Well, I think just with the advancements, just overall with TV and just some of the things that they're able to do now as far as drone coverage and being able to get a different view of a golf course versus just the behind the camera view, which we were so accustomed to for so many years. Now, when you have this, this bird's eye view of how narrow these shots are and how much they have to curve shots, I think it just adds another dimension to what we already knew was a narrow course, but why the players are always talking about how, you got to hit a certain side of the fairway. And I think people don't understand that. It's because you can legitimately get blocked out by the trees on your second shot. So this golf course, I don't know why it typically always has a playoff, but maybe it's because there isn't quite as many birdie opportunities down the stretch, but this 18th hole isn't easy. It's an easy drive, but the second shot's a narrow green, and but we've seen some fireworks on that green over the years.
We certainly have, and it seems like an ezy drive. It's so wide open. I know they were saying that yesterday.
I know.
All teeing off
I still would find a way to miss that fairway.
Zurich Classic of New Orleans is where we are going to head next for this week. The team event. Rory and Shane Lowry win last year. I think they're obviously coming back this year to defend. I don't know. Rory probably, they didn't win. I don't know how often Rory's going to take a stop back at TPC Louisiana, but you got to defend the title, Smile. If you won last year, you got to come back and run it back. And they are huge favorites over the field this week. We're talking, they're like plus 350, and everyone else is 20-1 or longer.
Wow. It doesn't surprise me. It was fun to watch them win last year because, they had this concert after the round on Sunday, and Rory and Shane got beers in their hands singing, what was it, Sweet Child? What were they singing after the round? I can't remember.
Wasn't it Wonderwall?
I don't know what it was. I'm sure people that are listening right now remember exactly what the song was. Oh, it was Don't Stop Believing. That's what it was. It was Don't Stop Believing, Journey. And Rory sang a little bit of it.
There you go.
But it was cool to see them win. Of course, their Irishmen winning in New Orleans just kind of makes sense, right? Those two can cater to that type of party atmosphere for sure. But it's a golf course in which there's really no tricks to it. It's pretty, I wouldn't call it wide open, but there's one side of the golf course that pretty much every single hole you can't miss on. Other than that, it's pretty much right there in front of you. It's a fun course to play with a partner. You can definitely make some bogeys out there for sure. There's some difficult shots, but these guys typically always find a way to tear it up. And I don't know who else you would take besides Rory and Shane, but I think those two might be coming in on a little low gas.
You have a lot of countrymen playing together. There's Canadian groups. You even have a brother group with the Fitzpatricks.
That's right.
I'm actually, Smiley, going to go with two guys who have played really well this year and have never won. Novak and Ben Griffin playing together.
I love it.
Maybe those guys can finally crack through. Smiley confidence. Check out the Smiley.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Vegas knows how to celebrate. If you're headed to Vegas for your birthday, plan ahead to get all the birthday freebies the city has to offer. Just by showing your ID, you could get free cash play, scratch cards, drinks, and food at various venues on the Strip. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Okay, what tools can you use to measure those things a bit? And that's where you have like force plates and 3D motion and you know, launch monitors, things like that. But that's all just sort of like measuring what's happening. That doesn't necessarily explain why one guy's really good and another guy's not really good. And that's where there's still kind of like this ongoing, how do you like continue to do research to understand that better? And I think that's going to last well past my lifetime.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the tribes, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC, that is King Ty Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweight.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
Smiley is the stuff of legend on Coast to Coast. Always a good shot with your boy Smiley Kaufman. All right, let's get back into baseball. But did you want to mention any of this spew news? I mean, we got spew news like left and right.
We do, because we did just talk about the two coaches in the NHL that got chopped over the weekend with Laviolette and Cronin. Well, you can add another one to the list. Seattle fires Dan Bylsma after one season. So he only got 1 year to try to make it work in Seattle. They were bad this year. It did not go well for them. There are some stories that they might also reassign, I guess, general manager Ron Francis. That is not official. That has not happened. But he may move to a different part of the organization, and they might.
Can I just say something here? Which, strangely enough, my buddy just texted me in the middle of the show, and he's retired, greatest guy ever, big shot ad agency guy in Atlanta. And when he retired, he's older, he's in retirement years, and he took a job as an usher at the Braves games. So he's doing Braves games at Truist. And and he saw my old boss with the Thrashers at the game, and he said hi. And I was it's so funny that you would do this story, because I want to say this, like, I have always believed that when they got that team in Atlanta, we got no players. Do you remember when Vegas got their team and they gave them like a Stanley Cup team? They gave them every player in the league went to the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, they were like an all-star team the first season, and they won the Stanley Cup within 2 years. So when Atlanta got a team, they got no one. They were playing with crusty 40-year-old Ray Ferraro and Kelly Bookaboom and whatever, Bookberger, whoever the hell it was. All I know is Per Svartvadet. I'll never forget that name. That's the hacks that they had on this team. And then I thought, to be honest with you, that's what Seattle got. They got what they deserved. No one wants to hear it. No one up there wants to hear this, but it's true. Like, why do they deserve some great hockey team up there? Because they got an expansion team and paid $500 billion, whatever, for the thing. when you're an expansion team, you should suck. I don't understand why I had to sit there and go through 57 losses with a team with no talent, and then now they stack these teams with all-stars when they give them expansion teams. I think it's bullshit. Seattle got what they deserved, a crappy hockey team. There you go. Welcome to the league.
They've obviously been in business for 4 years now. They've missed the playoffs 3 of their 4 seasons.
They
now,
suck.
The 1 year they made it, they went to the second round and lost in 7 to the Stars, but they've missed the playoffs 3 out of 4 years.
The Thrashers made the playoffs once, and they got their ass racked.
Yeah. Right. You know, look, I thought that they had a better team than some of those old expansion teams like you're referring to, but not as good as Vegas. And I still believe that Vegas got a little bit more than everyone else because they needed that market to be good right away. I just feel because they were the first professional league that ever went into Vegas. I think that they needed the Vegas market to work, and I think that they got some players that maybe other teams.
Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that. Fair enough. That's great. Did they do that in 67 with every team that came into the league? They let them suffer. Every single team in the league's history has suffered as an expansion team except Vegas. What team? Name an expansion team that was good.
Just Vegas is really the only one the first year out. I mean, they went to the final the first year.
So it's absolute bullshit. I don't care where you live.
No.
I don't care what the reason is. Like, I'm sitting there doing games. One night, I told you the story. We're losing 7-1, and I'm like, we're taking it in the... And then these, I slammed a table at the Devils game, and all the, media people got all flustered. I'm like, you're all a bunch of wussies. Shut up. You have no idea what it's like to lose every night of your life. I have seen my daughter play at a school that loses every night. I want to jump off a bridge. Like, losing sucks. I told you, expansion. Seattle, have a sandwich. Get in line. You don't know what losing's all about. Shut up.
It's
Honestly,
not fun.
I'm not even wrong.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
Whatever. They give this cup of golden chalice to Vegas. They're going to play for a Stanley Cup again. It's absurd, the team they gave them. And then I won't deny they've done a good job with the team. But you can't even argue this with me. You can't. Can you imagine? When the Penguins came in 67, they didn't win for 25 years. Like, Christ almighty. Don't even get me started.
Seattle is living the typical expansion life. Missed the playoffs 3 out of 4 years to start the league.
I hope they get the NBA back there, and I hope they lose 70 games. I mean,
they will eventually get the NBA back there in Seattle. It's going to come someday. They just better call them the Supersonics. They better get the Supersonic name with them when they do that. All right, let me rip through this so that we can get to tonight's baseball because we have games here. All right, play Boone. We did all the work to get Boone. Here's Boone about the home run.
What was your conclusion there?
I don't. The audacity of the call standing is remarkable. So it's a home run, and didn't go our way though.
What's the recourse for that, if any?
That's all we do is I get it's high, towering, but then it goes to replay and. I guess they couldn't find enough conclusive, so we gotta live with the call.
It was the worst call I've ever seen in baseball.
It was bad.
Honestly, it was 40 feet right of the pole.
It was bad. It's a very bad call.
It was so awful. And then they actually reviewed it and said it stood. I was like, I literally I had cheese crackers with horseradish cheese on it, and I spit it out of my mouth all over the table when I saw them review and say the call stands. I was like, I spit it out of my mouth across the room.
I will give you I'll very quickly run through everything, and then we've got to get to tonight's games. We have a bunch of games. Yankees are playing in Cleveland at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock Eastern playing.
Let's go.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats typically in your direction if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
It's the segment where we spend time talking bad about others in the break, and we were able to get it in today at a rapid clip. And I have to say that I enjoyed every second of it.
I think it's been more than just once today that's happened, but yeah, it's been frequent today. Marlins beat the Phillies in 10. Braves beat the Twins. They swept the weekend series. Even with the sweep, the Braves are still only 8-13 this year. What a shame. The Royals beat the Tigers in 10 innings. Brewers beat the A's. Mets beat the Cardinals. They swept all 4 games from him. And by the way, I'm not playing this Juan Soto.
No way.
Who cares?
No way.
Like
way.
Last year, the Turner thing, it was like he had 4 months he sucked, and they all started cheering Trey Turner, and then he got up. Soto's been there for 3 weeks. Can we relax with Soto? Needing to give him a standing ovation? To pump him
what
up.
did he get the standing ovation for? Just to cheer him up?
Because cheer him up. You know, he's been, so bad. Like, and everybody's been all over him in town. And
don't worry, you got
Shut up.
15 years of him.
Guy's making $750 million, and you're standing up and cheering him. Get lost. The Diamondbacks beat the Cubs in 11. The Nats and the Rockies split a doubleheader.
That was a great series.
Yes. All the games were fun at Wrigley over the weekend between those two. Sign me up for those to go together in October. That would be good. Mackenzie Gore leads baseball in case so far. He struck out 45 batters. Tatis hit an absolute rocket last night for the Padres to win 3. He has been on fire. This guy Tatis. I'm going to hold off on it, Luke, because I want to get to Logan Webb. Dodgers beat the Rangers 1-0. How about Tyler Mahle? He lost, but he didn't lose the game, actually. He had 7 shot innings. 0.68 ERA in his first 5 starts with Texas. How about that to start the season? And the Angels beat the Giants 5-4 on a walk-off bases-clearing double by Joe Adele. So a good win for the Angels there. They took 2 out of 3 from the Giants. Logan Webb lost the Friday night game. If you can listen closely, though, Scotty, Logan Webb was interrupted during his post-game press conference on Friday night.
Bumgarner, Gum, and Juan Marshall for at least 4 outings with sorry. At least 4 outings with 10 strikeouts in the watch. What does it mean to you to be in that list with those guys?
I'm sorry guys.
Farts are always funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Your boy.
Logan
Webb.
Anytime you're in a list.
He couldn't even do the interview. The guy ripped one, and it was just so fantastic. I had to send that to you. I'm always looking for good stuff on Coast to Coast.
Next up, let's get to tonight's games for us.
A keeper. Every day is a keeper on C2C, baby. Know that. Best in show. Hashtag best in show.
Let's start. The Yankees and the Guardians tonight in Cleveland, just at the top of the hour after 6 o'clock East. Tonight, the Yankees will have Clark Schmidt going against Gavin Williams. Yankees minus 125 on the road. Guardians plus 105 and an 8.5.
I got to go Guards because they just swept the Pirates and the Yankees have been on the road. They got shafted yesterday. The bad luck will continue tonight in Cleveland at Progressive.
The Reds will be in Miami for a couple days. Nick Lodolo against Max Meyer this evening. Lodolo's been pretty good so far. Right now, the Reds minus 120 road favorites, even money for the Fish, and a 7.5.
I like the under. I got it under 8, and I like Lodolo and the Red Stockings.
Padres, after the win in Houston last night, are in Detroit for 3 with the Tigers. Randy Vasquez and Kiter Montero, minus 145 for the Tigers, plus 120 for the Padres, and an 8.5.
Give me the over because Montero is like the Suez Canal giving up runs. Give me the Padres, the Friars on the streets.
Mets are 15-7 after the 4-game sweep of the Cardinals, and they get the Phillies in town. Aaron Nola and Tyler Megill, minus 145 for the Mets, plus 120 for the Phils, and a 7.5.
Give me McGillicuddy and the Mets at Citi Field. Aaron Nola's been getting raked.
I got 3 other games tonight and the Taters, which we will have to do in the leftover portion of the program tonight. We'll have to do the Taters and the leftovers.
It's okay.
There. That's all right.
It's not a problem.
We'll get
I have no problem. Everyone loves leftovers.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So we got a lot to talk about with Coach Young. I want to start with Reeves because he's admitted that he was, dog shack. But my thinking was, and I don't know if you heard me earlier, it's just like that was my game plan going in. Like all these brothers aren't going to have this white dude, this dude that gets all this space and all this, freedom in the regular season when it doesn't matter. To have 30-point games and just shoot whenever he wants and have whatever he wants. And I said on this show earlier today, I'm cutting that off at the head. Like, all right, here's game plan number 1. This dude ain't scoring. We're going to shut him down. And then they took LeBron right out of the game, too. I thought what they did to Reeves and LeBron was the difference for me. People talk about the threes. They always hit threes. But I said to Mike, they were dunking, going to the 10. McDaniels had 3 threes. He scored 25. He had a bunch of buckets inside. I just thought they kicked their ass. And they took that white boy right out of that game. And he's like, I got to be better. Well, no kidding. But I don't think he's going to be better because I think they can handle him.
I agree, Ferrall. I think, listen, the Lakers started off well because Luka started off well, right? And I was concerned about where they let him. And I was concerned about, honestly, how long they went to Rudy. The best thing that happened to the Timberwolves was Rudy got 2 fouls. Because then they went to Naz Reid. And then the game turned. Because Naz Reid was able to do so much for that team over the course of that game. And I just think that when you look at it, they just looked really like the Lakers, besides Luka, they all look bad in the starting lineup.
So let's go to the Knicks. They were getting their ass beat. Cade Cunningham was going down Broadway and doing double, like I said, in monkey bar swing, like in the park with the kids swinging, doing seesaw swings with his onions in their face. Every other play was a dunk down Main Street. They couldn't figure them out. They couldn't stop them. They were kicking their ass. And then all of a sudden, you get this 21-zip run with Big Bodega, the dog heart. Obviously Brunson with his bad right foot. They had everybody going, Anunoby, and it was over. But Detroit blew that game.
No, the game was blown by the coach. The coach blew that game, simply put. And that's what I is the fact that how they looked in that game was really poor and executing. And, you got to look at 98-93. They pull out Cade Cunningham. And once they pull Cade out of that game turned, and it turned quickly.
Hopefully we can get Coach back. He'll refresh with him, and then we'll get him back on with no problem at all. Obviously, we're talking about all these NBA games, and we're going to hit this Clipper game, and we're going to hit this Pacer game. Then we're going to hit the Sunday games with Coach. But we had some technical difficulties there. Hopefully we got him back now. Let's talk about the Knicks. What they have to do, we'll start fresh tonight against this team that was really giving them problems for 3 quarters, and then they died on the vine.
It was just the substitutions. Why are you taking Cade out in 93? That's where the game was lost. You took out your best player. Burn the time out. Then go from there. They didn't.
All right, so we're obviously having problems with Coach Young today, and so it's just a disaster. Let's get Carver High back in here, and we can pick up where we left off. We were talking about these baseball games that you were going to do in the final segment. Do we have Mike, or what are we going to do here? No? All right, so I'll deal with it myself. Atlanta's home to St. Louis tonight in baseball. Obviously, we're trying to get through these games. And in terms of that game, Fetty against Schwellenbach, I'm interested in the Braves again. I think they're going to get Mike within, they'll be 9-13. They keep inching closer to getting back to respectability. And I thought they had a decent weekend. I think they'll have more of it tonight at home at Truist.
Yeah, you would definitely think so here tonight. You would, sweeping that series against the Twins over the weekend should springboard them a little bit. And let's just call it like it is. The Cardinals suck. I mean, isn't it great? Like, we've been waiting forever for the Cardinals to just be awful. They were bad last year. They're worse this year, I think. And it's just going to completely go downhill for them. So I don't mind going in that direction tonight either. Toronto will be in Houston against the Astros this evening. Kevin Gausman and Hunter Brown. Minus $135 for the Stros, plus 115 for the Jays, and a 7.5.
I like the under here, and I think that this guy, Brown, has been the best thing that they've been serving up in Houston at all. They've struggled early. They've done nothing, but he's been pretty good for them overall, right? So I'm going to trust that he can get it done at home tonight against Gausman and the Jays. Gausman's been tough, though. Both these guys, low ERAs, so I think this game stays under. I think it's a really good pitching game.
It should be indeed. Could get a really good pitching game as well late night in San Francisco, where there tends to always be some pretty good pitching games late night there. Quinn Priester for the Brewers tonight. Robbie Ray will go for the Giants. Giants minus 135 plus $1.15 for Milwaukee and a 7.5.
I mean, it really is crazy what this kid Priester's doing. I know it's only a little sampling, right? But his ERA's under 1. He's literally been fantastic. I'm going to go Rogie Vachon and take the Brewers tonight in an upset at Oracle, and I'm getting them at plus $1.15 at least. Obviously, San Francisco's favored, but Ray's been really good. I won't deny he's 3-0, but he's given up runs. So I'm going to go for it in not only the Brewers, but I'm going to take the over 8 tonight. I think the ball's going to fly at Oracle.
Why not? Could be some runs. I hope there is. I usually like some late night home runs if we could possibly get them. Speaking of homers, we get a little tater time going here for this evening. Let's do it. We'll start with the Big Bear. You mentioned Fetty going for St. Louis tonight. In Atlanta against the Braves. Well, why not get the Big Bear cooking? He's 7 for 12. That's right. Ozuna's hitting .583 with 2 homers off of Fetty in his career. Light him up. Plus 370 for Marcell Ozuna tonight at Truist. How about Pete Alonso this evening for the Mets? Now, plenty of work against Aaron Nola. He's got a ton of at-bats. 6 homers off him in his career. .327 and 6 homers off of Nola, plus 400. Little worried about the cold there tonight. Not the best night for home runs at Citi Field, but I'll take the Polar Bear at plus 4 bills this evening. Next, we'll go to Cleveland with Clark Schmidt on the mound. I've been watching Jose Ramirez the last couple days. He just missed a couple against the Pirates over the weekend. I think he gets one tonight back at home. Plus 450 for Jose Ramirez at home against the Yankees. Now, I wanted a little Kerry Carpenter for the Tigers tonight against this hack Randy Vasquez going for the Padres. But Carpenter hurt, not in the lineup. So I'll go to the Torque at plus 520. Spencer Torkelson to get it going for the Tigers. Get the Torque in there. And finally, Ellie's been hot, man. He had some weekend in Baltimore. Had homers in 2 of the 3 games against the Orioles. He's been hitting a hot bat, and he destroys the Marlins. Has a bunch of homers off him in his career. Loves hitting in that park. Ellie De La Cruz, plus the 520 as well this evening. Ozuna, Alonso, Ramirez, Torkelson, and Ellie De La Cruz tonight. The Taters for a Monday. Let's go.
I mean, that is just fantastic. I can't get enough of it. So when we come back, we still have a lot more to do. Hopefully we'll catch up with Coach Young. Hopefully we don't get tripped up there. We got a lot going on here. It's evolving.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that rhythm. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I'm glad my jumper was better than your signal the last segment with that 16 for 17 I popped this morning. Early morning run, had it all going. Where were you when your signal dropped out? Nowhere. Let's go back to the Knicks game and what happened to the Pistons, honestly.
Honestly, it was JB Bickerstaff. The fact that they took Cade out of the game, folks, go look it up. 98-93, they take Cade out. Bickerstaff wants to buy a couple of minutes. That's when the Knicks made their run. And to me, when you get into that situation, when you have timeouts late, just take the timeout then. Don't take your best play off the floor. Also, you got the beginning of the fourth quarter, you get a 5-second call, Ferrall, a 5-second call in the NBA. Like, come on now. And then you get a 24-second shot clock violation. They were disjointed. Once Hardaway Jr., Beasley, and Tobias Harris stopped hitting shots, and Knicks started picking up their defense. The game turned. We need to see better Cade, and I think those two guys, particularly Harris and Beasley, have to continue to step up. One thing to watch out for, Cat was guarded by Tobias Harris. I put him at the elbow or the low post. Love Cat to go over 23.5 points versus Detroit tonight.
I thought the Big Bodega was incredible. So was the Dirty Dog, Hart. I thought Anunoby was incredible. Brunson with his bad right foot. I'm concerned about his right foot. It keeps rolling Massimino style. Do they handle their business again tonight at the Garden, or the Pistons cover?
I think the Knicks cover. I'm concerned that this game could have taken a lot out of Detroit. Also, we got to see what happens with Isaiah Stewart, because obviously he's kind of the junkyard dog. And you'll remember, folks, Cat didn't score in the first quarter. Brunson was terrible, but he also made 10 of his last, 12 or 10 of his last 13 shots. He was bad in the first half as well. New York's going to play better. I'm concerned. I think it's 2-0 going back to Detroit, but Detroit gets game 3.
So the Clippers game was the only good game. We have gone on record here today as every game stunk. Every game stunk. Even that Knick game, 21-0 run. You got to be kidding me. The bottom line was the Clipper game was the best game. They covered the 2 and a hook. They play a ball tonight, and they're actually favored by 1.5 in Denver. Are you surprised after they lost the lead and lost the game in game 1?
See, that's why I think it's different between the Clippers and Detroit. A young team in that spot blowing the lead, it's a problem. A veteran team like the Clippers, I don't think so. They were outplaying Denver. They got sloppy with the ball. They let Brody take that big three. Listen, I can live with. I mean, I think you close out a little bit better, but I live with it. They're favored for a reason, Ferrall. This is going to be the zigzag series. This is going to go back for bing, 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 bing. I love the Clippers tonight. The covering, I like James Harden to get a double-double. And the guy that's going to be better tonight for the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr., over 12.5 points. If you kind of look at Michael Porter Jr. and the way that he plays, over 12 in the last 15, 5 in the last 7, foul trouble, terrible game 1. Eric Gordon comes back to earth a little bit. MP Jr. steps up. Michael Porter Jr. over 12.5 points.
What'd you think of the Pacers dominating the Bucks at Indy?
How soon until Giannis asked for a trade after the season? And then you got Dame talking trash to Halliburton during the game. Like, folks, people are sitting there saying, like, well, Dame's going to come back and they're just going to roll. No, they're not. They may be close to offensively, but Ferrall, you know and I know what the issues were with Milwaukee. They can't stop really good guards. And Dame could be the worst guard defender on the roster. So to me, I think this is over in 5 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they swept it. I wouldn't be completely stunned, but I think it's in 5. Giannis was fantastic. Everyone else stunk for Milwaukee in game 1.
Yeah, I think the Pacers are a really solid team. They have been last year, playoff run deep, this year all season, because they're just flat out good and they can shoot outside, they can go inside, they got bigs that can knock it down mid-range or deep. We've seen it with Turner, etc. It never ends, even Obi-Wan Kenobi. On Sunday, all the blowouts, Thunder, 131-80 over Memphis. White boy Rick with a bunch of floaters had it all going. I thought of you when I watched this guy dominating. Every time he touched the ball, it went in. He made his first 7 floaters.
So if you're Memphis, right, you have 22 turnovers. You shoot like 17% from 3, right, and you lose by 50. Oh, and SGA wasn't good. I mean, wait, if you're that new coach, what are you saying to the guys? We'll be better next time. Jaren Jackson Jr., terrible. Bane, terrible. Ja, not good. I think this is a 4-game sweep, and I'm not saying they're winning by 50 every game, but I wouldn't be surprised if just about every game was double digits. I think they're mailing in, and I still think someone's getting traded from that team, and it's probably going to be Ja.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did like his new shoes. Boston ended up finishing off Orlando. Can the Magic defensively tighten this back up and make it better?
They played at, think about it, they played at their pace, right? They only scored 103. The problem is Boston shot 47% from 3, and you got, I think, 31 points from everyone else besides Wagner and Banchero. They got to get more contributions. Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, Wendell Carter Jr. But Ferrall, they're going to get 1 game because there's going to be a game, you know and I know it, Boston's going to be asleep at the wheel. They're going to shoot like 53s. They're going to shoot like 22, 23%, like that game in November, and Orlando's going to steal it. That's going to be a 4-1 series win by Boston.
What'd you think of Spida, Garland, and Jerome?
You remember the show Martin? Jerome's in the house. Ty Jerome down the 4th quarter, 6 of 7 from the floor. Here's the problem. Like, Cleveland's the team that beat you with 1,000 cuts, right? And it could be anybody, right? Spider early, Ty Jerome late. They can flip it. It could be Mobley. It could be Allen. It could be Garland, right? It could be DeAndre Hunter. It could be anyone. That is going to be a difficult series. But the Heat have pride, Ferrall. Another team. They're going to get a game. It's going to be 4-1 for Cleveland.
How much trouble is Houston in after blowing game 1?
I'll tell you right now, Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green can't shoot 2 for 17 from 3. I'll tell you that's for damn sure. Şengün was Şengün. Guard play's got to be better. I still think it's going to be a long series. They win game 2.
Catch Betting Above the Rim on SportsGrid. You catch Coach Young right here on Coast to Coast. 3 playoff games tomorrow, 2 tonight in the NBA.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I am concerned about leftovers today here at the Ferrall Play Show. The leftover ham, the rogue lasagna, which is not a normal Easter Sunday, offering, but we had it going. Plus the scalloped potatoes. Second day always gooey. I am concerned, Carver High, but at least you have good leftover stories.
We do have that. Of course, the NFL draft will commence on Thursday night. Round 1, then rounds 2 and 3 will be Friday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart has changed his mind. He's not going to go to Green Bay to be there on Thursday night. I guess he's gotten the word. It's not happening in the first round for Jackson Dart. The Falcons don't want to trade Kirk Cousins at the draft, but they would if a team's willing to pay a lot of the money. They'd be willing to then maybe
$20 million.
I'm not sure anybody's willing to do. They want money. Eagles give center Cam Jurgens a 4-year, $68 million extension.
He makes beef jerky.
He does. Cooper Flagg declares for the NBA draft. So into the draft goes Cooper Flagg. Tyrese Proctor of Duke also going into the NBA draft.
That's a mistake.
Won't have as many. I agree. That is a mistake. He could use another year. Go hit some more threes at Duke.
Or two.
Andre Iguodala II commits to Baylor. That's right. Did you know that Andre Iguodala's son already balling? And he's going to be playing at Baylor. Good for him. Just we mentioned, Justin Thomas wins the RBC Heritage in a playoff over Novakin. Andrew Novak. Yes, the plaid tartan jacket, the firing of the cannons, all of it for Justin Thomas, who had been over 3 years since he had won.
He's got a wife and baby now.
He does. Shakur Stevenson is going to defend his title against William Zepeda July 12th somewhere in New York. They don't know where yet, but the fight's going to be in New York. They haven't figured it out. Just like we haven't figured out.
Nobody's going to go anyway.
William Zepeda is. Who apparently there is some creepy shower rule in tennis about with the doping crackdown. What do they follow him into the shower? What is that about?
Who's the number one guy? Singer? Is that his name? Is that the number one?
Yannick Sinner. Sinner.
Sinner. So the number one guy in tennis dopes, right? And gets away with it. Nothing ever happens to him. And he gasses up and he wins slams. and they just let him keep using drugs. Now they want to see him naked in the shower so they can catch him doping up. That's what this rule is about. Creepy. They want to shower with Sinner because he's basically the only guy that everybody knows is a doper.
It's absolutely amazing that they just can't get it right in tennis. Leicester City relegated from the Premier League for the second time in the last 3 seasons after losing to Liverpool on Sunday. Really inexcusable when you consider how much money they got for winning whatever that was at this point, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Absolutely ridiculous. And finally, for me at least, Shannon Sharp was sued this morning for over $50 million for alleged rapes. Now, this story has taken several turns this
chick has no chance.
Including Sharp and his lawyer releasing a statement with like tons of text messages that this girl sent to Sharp. And now this is all this does, Scotty, is make everybody look bad. Is what's gonna go on in this one. Not a good scene.
I mean, this chick, the text messages that this lawyer, and everybody knows who he is, the lawyer for Sharp. You can go look at it yourself. You'll recognize Busby's his name. Wait till you see the text from this girl. This one's a real gem, this honey. I mean, she is really something else. You have got to read these text messages because they are just fantastic.
Busby's the girl's lawyer. Don't get it. Busby's defending the girl.
Oh, well, good luck. Good luck, Tony. Good luck with your chick and your $50 million. You're dead meat. I don't care who the lawyer is. He's always involved in like sleazy lawsuits. He ain't winning that one against this one with that girl. I mean, she's a porn star waiting to happen. OnlyFans within a month. Of course, Pope Francis is gone at 88. It'll be 25 days before we see the smoke in Vatican City, but it's pretty cool when it happens. You got to admit. John Cena wins his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania. Very big event that only a few people care about. The people that were there only are the ones that care about it. Ohtani's wife gave birth to a girl. He's disappointed. Their first child. He wanted a boy, obviously, to hit home runs, make a bunch of money. Jelly Roll says he cabled in his pants on stage. We'll see you tomorrow. Coast to Coast.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You're talking about going into next year, your 4th coach in 4 years. And if you think about it, they were 2-0 NBA Finals, and literally the whole organization just fell off.
I don't really understand what the plan is, right? Like, okay, you fire Budenholzer. What is the plan? Who do you think you're bringing in? What do you think is going to change? We all know the sort of dire financial situation they find themselves in as far as money spent.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
11 times now without a major, 14 times at the Masters. He finally has the green jacket. Rory McIlroy.
The best sporting event so far this year. It's better than the Super Bowl. It was better than the NCAA tournament. It had ups and downs. It had roller coaster rides. It had history, legacies. It had everything you could ever possibly want.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun. I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on Sport.